All right. Apparently, Twitch is having some issues. They're doing something that's covering this small little show. It's like E4 or something like that. Is that
Oh, I heard about the FFQ
F
FQ7. Yeah,
F3? That's it, right?
F3. Nice. Alt F4.
Yes, that's it. That would be a good name for it, actually. So I don't know how many people are actually joining us today because there is some E3 coverage going on. You know, this little tiny thing that happens in the game industry every year.
I heard
So
about it once.
yeah, I actually went to one. So you did too, Matt, right?
Yeah, I've been once.
Oh,
I
I
can't
had
hear
you.
Matt at all.
There you go. I had the wrong mic on. Let's hear
Yeah.
you again, Matt.
Yeah, I've been
All right.
once.
I thought I'm
Not
actually
really sure
kind
I
of
ever
really
want to go again, but
I'm actually really relieved to not have to do work for E3 because I don't know, for people who are not devs, it's really fun and exciting, and there's demos and lots of like cool stuff that you can make, but it is this huge grind to get those demos out the door, and it's kind of nice to not have to do that for 1 year.
Well, yeah.
Next year
something
we're
that's-
gonna have the badass demo. But
make something that's complete throwaway work for just the demo and
Exactly,
never sees the light of day.
Exactly. So yeah, I can't even pull the chat room up right now. So
I can't even load Twitch.
yeah.
So
So
nice.
who knows? Maybe there's no one else even here.
We'll talk to ourselves for a while.
Yeah, we tend to do that a lot, so that's okay. So
Sly Sal is there. Hi, Sly Sal.
hello, Sly Sal. Sly Sal. It's not Sly Sal. It's Slicel, right?
I don't know.
All right. So let me see if I can get some chat. If anyone else can see the chat, just feel free to throw out questions if they're there. But I just can't pull up the chat right now. So
Yeah, it's just loading.
Yeah, it's just loading.
I'm surprised we're actually even talking at this point. Oh, Xbox One is speaking right now. That's why. Microsoft is doing their Twitch stream.
Well, let's be quiet. Shh. Everyone, shut up.
Shh, the internet must be quiet. Xbox speaks.
All right. Well, it's loading up. I'm loading up our channel, and it shows that we're live. That's good. But I don't see chat yet. So, all right. So this week, or I guess we're talking about last week now. The week in review. We'll go over that first. Week in review. You know what? I haven't introduced anyone. Let's fucking do that, right? Oh, can I
Sure.
swear?
Yeah, you already
your
did.
channel, right? I guess
Whatever the.
we're all adults here.
I'm sorry, folks. I swore. I said a swear word. All right, so I am Jesse Smith, lead designer. We also have in studio here with me,
Matt Elliott, level designer.
and also on the Skype machine, somewhere in the distance, you can't see him, we have.
Jared Haldugas, studio manager.
That's right. And Jared's getting ready for some, not E3, but something else. So,
We have our own demos.
yes, our own demos to do. So that's why Jared is not here in studio, but he's joining us via Skype, and he'll chime in as we need him.
I'm via satellite.
Yes, via
Sure,
satellite.
I'm sure there's a satellite involved somewhere in between.
Yeah, there
here
has
and
to be.
there.
Too bad we couldn't get like a hologram of you.
Nice.
Do we have that technology yet?
Not yet.
We don't. Tupac does though,
That's true.
and Michael Jackson. Not us. All right, so that's who's here. Let's go over the week in review. Last week, Jared slaved over this, and so did I. We put out a new combat video that highlighted some new animations and upgraded combat. Do you want to talk a little bit about that, Jared?
Sure. Yeah. I mean, we basically took the next iteration of what we were kind of working on, and it's not final yet, but it's just sort of the evolution, I guess, of our combat system. And we had kind of a standard punch and kick mechanism going on, and we added a little bit of movement. So you sort of have that Batman style. I don't really know what the correct term of it is, but sort of a snap to movement where you go to punch somebody and it looks for the nearest guy and it sort of zooms in on him and you get up close and personal with him and start beating him up. And that really kind of added a lot of movement to our combat, which was real nice. And then we also added a combo system, so kind of more traditional fighting game style combo system where you press ABA or AAA or BBB or whatever, you get those punch kick combos and stuff like that. So there's I think 14 different combos in there right now. Obviously we'll see, that might not be final, I don't know, but It was fun. It was a lot of hard work, but it was definitely it was fun to get that kind of going. I feel like our combat is a lot more fun. My 4-year-old actually played this weekend,
Nice.
and finished the entire level, which was so we probably need to up the difficulty a little bit, but it was certainly really cool. He didn't want to put it down,
Mm,
so
I think
that,
he's
that
just
was.
I think he's just better than us.
He might be. He
Yeah.
might be. I mean, they are intrinsically. My 4-year-old can intrinsically use an iPad, way better than I can. Um, but yeah, no, it was cool to see that he could actually play through and grok it. So if it's grokkable for a 4-year-old, I guess we're on the right track.
Yeah.
Um,
It's a start.
but yeah,
It's a
yeah,
start.
exactly. It's a good start. At least it's intuitive, I guess. Yeah, so we added a bunch of that. I'm working on today is trying to get some of the zombies to have kind of their updated version of combat, because they're still using sort of the older system. They kind of walk up to you and just swipe at you repeatedly, and that's not very fun. So trying to get a little bit more dynamic with the AI, and get them to sort of do have a couple bags of tricks up their sleeves, so to speak. um, and once I can do that, then hopefully we'll get a little bit more back and forth play. So yeah, that's kind of what I've been screwing around with.
Cool. So we put that video together, and it features some of the stuff from the original story trailer. Um, but when I was putting the video together, I thought it'd be a nice little sort of I don't know, like glimpse of what the game's about. So you get a little bit of the storyline. I sort of laid it down in layman terms. So if you're not a fan of Chikara, you can understand what's going on, as opposed to talking about different characters and factions and stuff that you may not understand. So just tried to do that, edit it all together, make it look fancy, and hopefully we achieve that. So, so that's out there. You know what? Let me go ahead and play that. What do you guys think of that?
Ooh,
Go ahead.
on the Twitch. That's crazy.
I know, right?
Can we do that?
Oh yeah,
So
we
like
can.
that's like a multimedia Twitch
What
channel now.
what kind of magic is this?
Sorcery.
All right, let me go ahead and get this. All right, there we go. I got the audio. Let me get it up on the right screen. Let's go and do this. I'm gonna turn everyone's mics down. So here's about a minute and 17 seconds. This is the new combat trailer. Here it is.
In a not too distant cyberpunk 80s inspired world, a great and devious insectoid evildoer hatches a nefarious plan to create a legion of undead minions and unleash them on an unsuspecting world. Who or what can stand against such odds? Who will stop this evil mastermind? A bunch of ants, of course. Yes, I said a bunch of ants.
There you have it, folks. The new trailer. All right, make sure everyone's mic's on though.
Woo!
And let's get the cam back on. There it is. So we also have joining us in studio, if you haven't seen, Ozzy, his little dog, just hanging out on the desk.
Nice.
He likes indie development as well. So
Awful high up off the ground for a little dog.
yes, and he.
I think we have a couple people watching, by the way. I'm starting to load. It's slowly starting to load things, maybe. Just
All right,
FYI.
cool. All right, I see that there's 3 people viewing, but that also hasn't updated in about 10 minutes.
Okay.
So
All right. Well, that's what I just got to. So
okay.
it shows you how fast it is over here.
So
Thanks, E3.
yes, so that's what happened last week. We got that video up and running, and this week we have lots of stuff planned. Let me pull out the rundown here. We have, all right, here's our schedule. So we did some interviews last week. Both Jared and I were on Game Academy. We talked to the fine folks at Game Academy, and then Matt and I spoke with the fine folks over at OMG Wrestling Podcast. So, if you want to check out those interviews, well, actually, I'm gonna get together a post to put on Kickstarter to link to those. So, if you hadn't had an opportunity to listen to them, check them out. They're both really in depth. Not just about Rudo Resurrection. Of course, we talk a lot about the game, but we talk a lot about indie development, what it's like to go from working at AAA studios to, to indie, and not having a paycheck. To, what that whole scary thing is like. So, I would definitely recommend checking those out. They're actually pretty cool interviews. Both folks that we interviewed with were very cool. So, Game Academy. I think it's on iTunes, and also they have a website. And the channel on YouTube for the other one was Tony Pizza Guy. So if you just go look for Tony Pizza Guy, it was OMG Wrestling Podcast. Yep. So go check those out, and go check out what those folks are up to, because they're good peeps. Is that what they say still? Peeps?
I don't know.
I feel like I'm out of the loop.
Well, is that more of like a seasonal Easter?
Yes. Although we are past Easter, so maybe it's not quite a good thing to use. No, I won't use that again. Sorry, folks. All right, so this week we have a lot coming up. We have, right now, we have a Twitch chat. Booyah, we're doing that right now. Tomorrow, we actually, what is nothing? I don't want to talk about tomorrow just yet, because there's some cool stuff going on that we can't talk about just yet. But there also should be an article up on a local Boston website, and if that happens tomorrow or Wednesday, we'll link that for you folks to check out, which is very cool. And then also tomorrow night, a few of us, or at least one or two of us, will be at the Boston Postmortem. So if you are in the Boston area, at 7 p.m., we'll be at the Skellig in Waltham, Massachusetts. If you've never been, it's basically like a networking event for industry folks. So people who are in the industry, people who want to get in the industry, people who have been in the industry who want to get back in the industry. It's cool, and we know the person who's speaking tomorrow, our friend Hannah Foll, who we used to work with at Turbine, is going to be talking. So that should be a good talk. She's a very funny, and she's talking about, I think it's comedy, how improv comedy helps or is similar to game development or something along those lines. Cool. So that should be fun. So that is tomorrow at 7. That's Tuesday at 7 at the Skellig in Waltham, Massachusetts. So a few of us will be there. Wednesday, we actually had, this is kind of cool. They approached us about this. There's a bar in Chicago called the Squared Circle. As you'd imagine, it's a wrestling-themed bar. And it's owned by, I think her name's Lisa Marie. She used to be in WWE and TNA. She's a pretty well-known a female wrestler. And so when she got out of wrestling, she went and opened up her own restaurant/bar. And it's a pretty cool thing. Apparently, JHD lost.
No, I'm back. I don't know.
Okay.
E3 ate some of your sound bites.
Oh. Hopefully that was just your end on Skype.
Hopefully.
Yeah. So they approached us about doing a Rudo Resurrection themed night, because one of the event coordinators saw that we were doing this and was like, hey, we'd love to do something to help you guys out. So unfortunately, we're not going to be able to make it to Chicago because it's kind of short notice, and we're in the last week of the Kickstarter. So we will not be able to be there in person, but we're sending a package with some cool stuff to have on hand. I think there's going to be some giveaways. There's going to be, I just burned a DVD, so we'll be showing some videos and stuff like that. So it should be cool. So if you're anywhere near Chicago, go check out the Squared Circle on Wednesday evening. I don't have the time. I think it's like 8 or 9 p.m. though. I'll verify that and we'll get it out there. But it should be fun, and we appreciate those folks getting in touch with us and helping us out. And hopefully in the future we can go, who knows, maybe we'll have a launch party there or something, right?
Sure.
And on
maybe we'll do a couple different cities. New York, LA, Chicago.
We'll do a little tour.
Rudo tour.
Yeah. On Thursday, we're going to be at Jared and I will be at Firehose Games to hang out with the fine folks at Firehose. I think it's Sean Baptiste who we're going to hang out with, and he basically handles all their Twitch streaming. So on Thursday, we'll be on the Firehose stream. I think it's just Firehose Games. So go ahead and what's that?
Sorry, I
Jared?
was gonna say, is that like crossing the streams? Are we
A little bit.
crossing the Twitch streams?
Oh, yes,
Sorry,
a little bit.
it's the
but
30th anniversary. We got to celebrate a little bit.
but they have a lot more people on their channel, so we can get the word out there. But those guys are awesome, and they've been very helpful the whole entire time that we've been trying to do this indie thing. So we appreciate their support, and we'll be there Thursday at 4 p.m. Eastern. Finally, we're trying to plan out the details of this, but we are going to do a 24-hour live stream on starting Friday in the AM, going until Saturday in the AM. And our Kickstarter ends Saturday morning on June 14th. So what we're going to do is we're going to be streaming for 24 straight hours and hopefully try to drum up some support, get some excitement going, play some games. We'll play some beat 'em ups. We'll play whatever, not just strictly beat 'em ups. We'll play games. Maybe we'll do some dev streams, stuff like that. So it should be a real fun time. So make sure you follow us on Twitch and check that out. And speaking of dev streams, Matt, you just did a dev stream last week, your first one. You want to talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, it was a interesting experience.
Yeah.
I'd never streamed on Twitch before, so I wasn't quite sure what to expect from it. I think the biggest challenge I had with it was trying to reconcile what I was doing in real time with the delay that exists between real time and what's broadcast. I was having some network issues too. Hopefully I'll be able to figure those out so that I can continue doing either Let's Plays or dev streams in the future. Definitely still want to try it again in the future, but I want to get my technical difficulties figured out. Had a few people come in, hang out. A few people were asking questions, which was good.
Yeah.
I was happy to see people kind of interested in game development and interested in the design aspect of it, and a lot of the questions were focused around the differences between using meshes versus brushes while building, and having not worked in this engine before myself, tried to answer as best I could, but I'm not by any means what I would call an expert on Unreal yet, but it was still fun. And I'm looking forward to doing another one in the future.
Yeah, absolutely. That's something that we want to continue to try to do, is to just have more of the streams like that. It was the first time that we've done something like that aside from these the dev chats that we do on a weekly basis. And so it was very cool to see. I tuned in and saw Matt working for a little bit, and despite some technical flaws, it was actually pretty cool for me because we work remotely, and it was cool just to see what Matt's been up to. So hopefully we can do more stuff like that in the future. Maybe we can do some stuff with our lead artist Lou Tamaro, have him do some stuff. And maybe Jared, maybe some blueprint work. That'll be really exciting, huh?
Sure, yeah, that's like watching paint dry.
Yeah.
Well, eventually everyone's just going to be going into blueprints and working in blueprints. Once you get the core of your work done, then it's just all heads down blueprints.
Yeah, exactly. So I think that's it. I want to make sure I didn't miss any of the weekend review stuff.
Brand new poster that just went up too. The folks at New England Comics in Norwood were kind enough to put that up for us.
Yeah.
I think the email blast that Jared sent out last week had it included, and it did have a character reveal.
It did.
I'm not going to talk about who was revealed. I'll let people find that out for themselves. But
it's like an Easter egg hunt.
Yeah.
Well, we did. It is out there, sort of. I mean, we didn't. I was actually just going to show it, but maybe I won't. Maybe I'll let people go and try to find it out there in the world of the internet and the ether.
Or go to New England Comics Norwood and show those guys love. They were awesome. They had, I walked in and just asked them, hey, can I just bring in some flyers and bring in a poster? And just like almost immediately they're like, yes, do it, go.
Yeah, it's very cool of them. So we appreciate New England Comics support in Norwood. That's Reshop, right, Matt?
Yep.
Yeah. So if you want to get some
Yeah, we even
comics,
we got some tweets I think from the owner of the store saying, "I can't believe that one of my customers is making a game," which is kind of
awesome.
cool.
That's really cool. So yeah, check that out. There's a character reveal. It's a very awesome poster that Matt did up, and we'll be releasing that soon. Maybe once we hit 20,000, right?
Yeah, not too far. We only have what 3,000,
Yeah,
something like that to go.
almost there. So
That should be end of the day today, maybe.
hopefully end of this dev chat.
There you go. Bam. Some King of Trios will drop some knowledge.
That's right. So that's, I guess that's the week in review finally. So let me get to some questions. We have, once again, I still can't see the chat room, so I don't know if there's anyone actually chatting. Can anyone see the chat room yet?
I've been connecting for a while, so
Okay. So because of E3, we have no chat, I think. So
That failed to load video. Please submit an issue report.
we should all do that because I'm sure they're not getting enough reports right now.
Yeah. Hey guys, E3 is messing up my Twitch stream.
Yeah. So looking back at, we had a couple questions via the Rudo Dev Chat hashtag on Twitter. So if you'd like to join in the conversation, ask us questions, just go ahead and use the Rudo Dev Chat hashtag on Twitter if you're on Twitter. We had James Snellgrove, who I think is a backer, if I remember correctly. The name sounds familiar. He asks, can you tell us what in-ring character-specific special moves you are considering for the revealed roster? Hints? So we have an animator that's going to be helping us out with these in the next week or two. I don't want to guarantee when they're going to be ready, but we will have some animations for those soon. But it's actually still to be determined right now because I want to get the animators' input. We have an idea what we want to do, but we also want to make sure that they're going to look good, that they're going to feel good in game, and everything like that. So we have a couple that we're thinking about. For the special moves, they're going to be crazy off the wall. So I don't want to say what those are going to be until they're ready because there's a couple. Like right now, Fire Ant has one, and he blows a fireball, and it catches the whole group on fire. It's pretty awesome looking. It's very cool. So that's the one that we have in place right now. As far as the signature moves go, the signature moves are going to be more based on what they do in ring. So, for instance, like Fire Ant, I think what we're going to have him do, and once again, if this changes, like that's because something wasn't working out with the animation or whatever. But I think what we're going to do for Fire Ant is going to have his move called Heat of the Moment, which is typically a top rope leaping jumping kick. It's sort of like an enziguri, but not quite. So that's what we're probably looking at for Fire Ant. For the other two, we're still sort of determining what those are going to be and what looks right and everything. So I don't want to reveal too much about that. Once we get that squared away a little bit more, I think we'll be ready to talk more about that. So
yeah, I mean, if people have suggestions too, like if there's a favorite move that you just think of as, I mean, I think Jesse is well aware of a lot of the moves of these guys, if not all of them. But certainly if there's a move out there that you're like, if you don't have, this move on Worker Ant, then you're just wrong. Then you should let us know because we're certainly willing to. We could certainly be wrong. That's for sure.
Yeah. For signature moves, if there are people out there listening that want to, give us their advice, by all means, please do. So for signature moves, a signature move is going to be a move based on an actual move that the wrestler performs in ring, and the special moves are going to be something that's crazy off the wall. Like if you've ever played the Injustice Gods Among Us game, which was the DC fighting game, or even Mortal Kombat games like that, we want stuff that are kind of off the wall and crazy. So maybe not necessarily something that they would do in ring, maybe reminiscent of it. Something like that. If you have any ideas, definitely tweet at us, message us however you want, whether it's Facebook, whatever, through the different mediums, and we'll take that into consideration for sure. So, looks like still no chat. Boo. We do have people watching, though. I can see that there are people watching. So, and James also asks another question. Can you explain why the stretch goals are priced as they are? So that is an interesting one because a lot of the things, some of them are cut and dry. Like the game, we know what we want to charge for the game. That's going to be $15, and so that's cut and dry. So we can put that out there. You want the game when it comes out, $15, boom. But
Is
there's
he talking the stretch goals or the
Yeah.
rewards?
I think he's talking the stretch goals.
oh, stretch goals. Okay, yeah. Silly me. I was just
Yeah, I
looking
mean,
up-
stretch goals are pretty basic, right? I mean,
Yep.
the reason that we set the stretch goals where they are is based on kind of time to implement. The more money we make, the longer we can to build this game, or the more people we can bring on, for special features, and pretty much it's a direct budget correlation. I mean, it's just
Mhm.
the more money we have to make this game, the better we can make this game because we
certain
can
s-
add more features, we can bring additional engineers and artists and stuff in, and that allows us to make it a more robust game. I mean, it's a pretty we basically estimated how much time it would take us to make some said feature, whether it's multi-platform or co-op or something like that, and then just figure out what exactly it would entail, and that's kind of how we came up with those numbers.
Yeah, certain stretch goals have certain expectations of expertise that we would need to fill in order to achieve the stretch goal. So
Yep. So that's we certainly didn't just pick numbers out of a hat and say, oh, okay, let's do that. Let's do this stretch goal for that amount. We definitely gave it a lot of thought, and what we did was we thought of the ultimate version of the game. The everything we want to get in this game, we started with that number, and we basically went backwards and we said, okay, it's going to take about 350 to make the game we really want to make, and the ultimate game we think would be amazing. So we basically went back from there, and we cut down some features and then figured out how much it would cost to re-implement them back. So that's pretty much what we're looking at. I actually there was I don't know if you saw this. I think you did, Jared. But there's a really good discussion going on Steam, on the Steam Greenlight page. I think you might have posted, "What do you want to see from us?" And we got some really good responses.
like almost a novel on one of them.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know. I mean, I don't know if he listens, but there's a Steam user named Rabbit with Red Eyes that gave us a really in-depth explanation of what he would like to see, and a lot of it's really good stuff. So, I certainly appreciate people taking the time to give us their feedback. There's a lot of good stuff going on in here. So, if you guys want to get into this discussion, you can head over to the Steam Greenlight page. Just do a search for Rudo Resurrection on there, and there's a discussion called "What do you want to see from us?" So that's a pretty in-depth, pretty cool discussion going on over there. So we appreciate everyone's support and everyone letting us know what they'd like to see, what we can improve on, stuff like that. So so we're not getting many questions, obviously, because the chat room is not working. So we
Well,
apologize about that.
That and E3, I'm sure.
Yep.
Everyone wants to see what Call of Duty is going to be like this year. I bet you there's going to be guns in it.
I don't know about that. I don't know, man.
Maybe multiplayer and some sort of experience point system to go along with the multiplayer.
Are there going to be dogs again, though, this year?
Yes.
Cats this
Many-
year.
Many dogs left side.
Yes.
I mean, honestly, if anything comes out of E3, the thing that will make me most happy is if The Last Guardian is officially announced and officially street dated, because I have been wanting that game for years now.
Well, I'm not even familiar with it.
It's the next game from Team Ico.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah, okay.
Baby griffin dog, big griffin dog animal that you run around with, and I know it's going to be heartbreaking, but I still want that game.
So, just this is something I just wanted to bring up. It's local. It sort of has local ties. But speaking of E3, BBC News released their like an article about E3. What video games to expect for the next gen consoles, and they basically said some of the picks of like the most highly anticipated games. Like we have games like Mirror's Edge 2, The Evil Within, Quantum Break, Alien Isolation, Mad Max, things like that. But number 6 on this list is Elegy for a Dead World, which is made by Dejabon Games, who is a local Boston indie. And the little blurb it has here, it says, it's an indie game where the player explorer observes a dead world and has to write down what he observes in a journal and send it back to his homeworld. It's inspired by British romantic poets like Shelley and Byron, and that's something that makes it appealing to me. So whoever wrote this article is really excited for this. But I mean, look at all the games on there. There's Mad Max, there's Alien Isolation, you know, all these AAA games, and then there's this indie game made by a local indie developer. So I just thought that was really pretty cool. And Ichiro, who's runs Deja Bomb, has been very supportive of us as well, and he even pledged to our campaign. So that's it's very cool of him to do, and I figured it's the least we could do is mention the game, and that's pretty damn cool though, to be the top 6 games that this writer is looking forward to on the BBC News. So it's pretty high praise, I'd say. So check that out, LG for Dead World from Deja Bomb. I don't know when it's coming out, but it'll be coming out sometime this year, I believe. I know Ichiro is there showing it off and talking to people. So good on those guys.
Stay tuned.
Yes, stay tuned. Man, what else we got? This is difficult without a chat room.
I mean, we could talk a little bit about what we're doing this week as well.
Yeah.
I'm neck deep in camera. Trying to figure out how to get our camera system less dependent on individual levels and try to break it out into something that's more systemized. Jared and I did a review of it this morning, and he had some good suggestions. And once I get back home from the dev chat, I'm probably going to dig back in and see if I can't figure out how to get my camera manager working the way we want it to.
Yeah, very cool. It's such a like difficult thing to get right, and most people when they play games, they have no idea what went into that, right? They just assume it just works, right?
Yeah, I mean, there was a great there was a YouTube analysis of Super Mario Brothers and how the camera in that game works, and there's just, when you play Super Mario Brothers, you don't think there's a lot of thought put into the camera. You're just like, oh, the camera follows Mario around. But there's a ridiculous amount of thought and care and logic that goes into even, something as straightforward as Super Mario Brothers in terms of gameplay. So, when you are working on a camera, you really want to make sure that you think about it and you get it right. Because it's a significant component, and it's one of those things that can, whether people know it or not, can, really make them enjoy the experience or turn them off to the experience, depending on, how they handle, how their own vision handles motion, how they feel that the camera interacts with the game, just how, if the camera feels like it's fighting against the game versus working with the game. Especially when games started really transitioning over into 3D, there was a lot of games out there that the camera just fought you the entire way. Even games that are considered classics and staples like the original Tomb Raiders and whatnot, those cameras were a little ornery, and they were not always happy to do what you wanted. And I think we have a little bit of an extra benefit in that we're restricting visibility through the 2.5D camera angle, but there are still things that we want to do to the camera angle to make it appealing and make it feel right for the game.
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into it, and I'm sure we're probably not going to have the camera finalized until probably right up until the game's release, right? Like,
Yeah.
it might always be tweaking it and changing things here and there. So, Jared, you're working on some super secret stuff that we can't really talk about, but is there anything else you want to discuss about what's going on in your corner of the Rudo Resurrection world?
No, I mean, I'm just trying to add more flavor. I mean, that's pretty much, I'm just salt and peppering everything now. No, I'm kidding. It's just, for me right now, it's just trying to figure out exactly, where we can kind of get bang for buck. I mean, a lot of this is, I think, it's hard to explain to people, but we're learning blueprints and technology with an engine that just came out, as we go, right? So a lot of times we come across a problem and we say, oh, like one of the suggestions in the discussion in Steam is grappling, for example. Like, oh, it'd be
Mm-hmm.
really cool to have
Mm-hmm.
grappling. It's like, okay, well that's that sounds good, and I kind of agree. It would be kind of cool if we had some grappling moves in there, but the question is how do we do that? How do we get them to like grab each other the right way? How do we get it to look good? Do we have animations? Do we have, all of that stuff, and walking through all those systems and dealing with, well, what happens when I actually, lock onto another actor, and does it work? Those are the kind of things that I'm trying to figure out. And then so a lot of it is, half of it's learning and half of it's implementation. But it's, and sometimes the learning takes a lot longer than you expect, and sometimes the implementation takes a lot longer, and sometimes it goes really fast. I've definitely gotten through points where you're like, oh great, this is just easy, everything's going in just great. But those are less and less as you get deeper and deeper. So
And there's a lot of terminology learning too. Just
Yep.
What we're used to from the other engines we've worked in, what they call it in Unreal could be either exactly the same and great. We have very little searching to figure out what we need to do, and other times trying to find out how to do something that we know we can do in it, and we know we've done it in other engines before, but we can't just quite put our name on, what action to call, because it's very slightly different.
The stream finally came back on one of these, and that's why we heard an echo for a second.
Oh, yeah, it was weird. I was like, what is that?
So apparently the chat room is working now on at least one of the browsers I have open.
Nice. Yeah, no, I mean, I think I think a lot of it comes down to like, yeah, I figured out a thing that I want to do. I want to go build that, but how do I actually get it done? And figuring out, what the systems are that we need to either develop or use or build, or anything, and just finding those and figuring out exactly how to do it. It's weird, but it's cool. I mean, it's a great. There's a really nice sense of accomplishment when you find one of those things, and you figure it out, and they say, "Look, I did it! I finally figured out how to make, the guy move to on the first attack or whatever." So, yeah, I'm just kind of looking for more flavor.
Yeah, and the big thing this week is just getting the word out there. And
Yep.
I actually didn't mention it at the beginning of the show, which I should have, but this is our last week of Kickstarter on Saturday, June 14th, very early in the AM, I think 7:25 AM. The Kickstarter campaign will be ending, and we're just over. Well, what are we like? We're a third of the way, a little over 1/3 of the way. I think we're like 34% of the way now, or something like that. So
like $17 shy of what, 17,000?
yeah. So we still have a ways to go, and we don't have too much time, but we're like I said, we have a lot going on this week. Hopefully, the message will reach a lot of people that haven't heard about it yet. Or if there could be people holding out and just waiting to the end.
They want to give us a heart attack.
Yeah, exactly. They're like, oh, we'll just give it to them at the end. But as I think we've stated this before, if you're waiting for money to come in, like if you're waiting for your paycheck or something like that, you don't actually get charged until the end of the campaign. So if you have money kicking around, you won't get charged until the end, which is Saturday. If we're successful, so feel free to just do it ASAP so you don't forget, because we don't want to be just like a few bucks short and have someone be like, oh crap, I forgot. So be sure to get your pledges in if this is something you'd like to see happen, and hopefully we can continue to do this, because we're really excited to make this game, and there's a lot of people who are excited to see it happen. Not only just the wrestlers in Chikara, but the fans of Chikara and friends of ours and local people who are really pulling for us to have another studio in the area. So there's a lot of things tied into it. So we're hoping that things come through. We're able to do this. It succeeds, but we definitely need some support still. So if you have not pledged, or if you can't pledge, be sure to share it. Share the link out there with folks who may be interested in helping out. If you have a rich uncle, make sure he knows about it. So we just want to get the word out there.
Yep. And I definitely want to say thank you to everybody who has pledged, because I mean, we, regardless of how this goes, we've gotten, 426 people have donated to this point, and a lot of money. And
Yep.
so I just definitely want to say thank you to everybody who has, because it's been pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Just seeing that amount of support is pretty special. A lot of those guys are our friends and our family, and just it's nice to see kind of such a strong community around us, and hopefully that community keeps getting bigger and stronger. But
Yep.
it's been I don't know. There's definitely been some nice, sweet moments when people have come through with some pretty special donations. So thank you guys.
And that's 426 people believing in what we're doing, and
Yep.
Regardless of what happens, that's pretty damn cool to have people that are just willing to back you in whatever you do, and they believe in what you're working on, and that's a pretty good feeling. So it's always hard to sort of quantify that sort of thing, but now we can say, hey, we have at least 426 people that believe in us, and that's something to hang our hat on for sure. So we're gonna just continue to keep pushing the campaign this week. Lots of cool stuff. You guys should definitely join us on Friday for our 24-hour live stream. We're going to be doing all sorts of stuff. Probably doing some live dev streams, playing some games. I know I'm going to play some beat 'em up. So if any of you guys have recommendations for beat 'em ups you'd like to see me play that are available on Steam, go ahead and make recommendations. Tweet it out. You can do Rudo Dev Chat, that hashtag, or just at Rotary Games. Tweet it out and let us know what you'd like to see us play, because it'd be cool to play some games that folks out there want to see.
It's the 24 for 50 stream.
24 for 50, yeah.
Yeah, something like that.
It's kind of like the couch to 5K. Is that?
Yeah.
Yes,
yeah.
exactly.
It's called the Twitch to 50K.
Twitch to 50K. 50 miles?
Yeah.
I would.
I'll run 50 miles.
I was gonna
for
say
50K right now.
I would too. If that's going to help people.
If you want me to put a tier in there that says we all run 50 miles if you donate the remainder amount, we'll do it.
We may have to wrap a rope around JHD's waist and pull him with a car, but we'll get him across the finish line.
Oh, dude, are you kidding me? It might take me 3 days, but I will run it.
So I think, is there anything else you guys can think of before we wrap up here? Anything else?
No, that's it. I mean, like we said before, you can always, for those 426 wonderful fans, they can always update their amounts if they want. You can change that stuff. We added a couple new tiers in there. We added a Trios pack, which is buy 2 get 1 free copies of our game, and then we also added an Atomicos pack, which is a Chikara 4 versus 4 match, which is buy 8 copies for the price of 6, and you also we throw in the soundtrack and the art book in there as well, and I think that's 125.
Yep, 125.
So I mean, those are 2 new packs that came in,
and we'll also be adding in the run 50 miles.
Yes,
goal.
The 50 miles, 35K tier. There'll be only one of those. We will not do that more than once. But if you want to see this succeed and you want to just put us over the top, then we will run 50 miles, and I don't know, we'll videotape it. I'll videotape it while you guys run. How about that? That's perfect.
I don't like that.
No, that's not good. We'll put a little. We'll strap a little, like one of those weird selfie. I don't know, like a bar. It'll just record us while we're running.
Get a GoPro camera helmet, or
yes.
Nice. It'll look like Blair Witch Project.
Yeah, I saw a couple of people at the Boston Marathon that had like a camera strapped to their chest.
Yeah.
Which I can't imagine either the helmet cam or the chest cam is particularly stable looking in its footage.
Yeah.
No, I want the really rocky selfie cam, right? Just on your face for 50 miles while you're dying.
Make people just get nauseous when they watch it, right?
Yeah. I'm gonna add that in right now while we're talking.
We actually did have somebody who had already pledged, and they upped their pledge to get the Trios pack. So
yep.
So that was pretty awesome. So if you've already pledged, or if you haven't yet and you want to get the game for friends, you want to surprise them down the line or something like that. Look at one of those packs. There's the Trios pack is $30, so basically you get 2 copies of the game, 1 for free, and the Atomicos pack is $125, and you get 8 copies of the game for the price of 6. So so if that's your bag and you want to get some for your friends, go ahead and look at those as well. And if anyone
Or if
has
you want to pitch in with your friends, you all want to throw in $10.
Yep. Absolutely. And if anyone else out there has recommendations, we can still add tiers. If there's like something, if you want a 16 pack or something, like, like let us know if there's anything out there that we don't have that you'd like to see. There's still time. And we have some of the higher end ones we haven't got any people to pledge for. There's the King of Trios and also the Grand Champion. We don't have any backers in those tiers yet. So if you're interested, take a look at those. And there's the Luchador tier, which you can get an NPC version of yourself in the game. So that's pretty cool. You send us a picture and we'll build a 3D model of you and put you in the game. So check those out. Those are some of the higher end ones, but some pretty cool stuff that we're offering, I think. So, all right. Well, I think that's going to do it for this weekly dev chat. Is this something? Should we continue to do these after the Kickstarter ends? This is the last one for this Kickstarter.
Well, yeah, maybe. I think so. As long as Rotary Games continues to rotate.
That's right.
I think we should keep going.
Yeah,
we'll do other things maybe.
Yeah, we might look at other
talk about.
Yeah, we might look at other days and doing different things. But if this is something that people, let us know. If you want to see these dev chats continue, tweet at us at Rotary Games. Let us know what you think, and if you want something different, you want to see us do Let's Play or more dev streams, definitely let us know.
And always, if you have questions, the @RudoDevChat or #RudoDevChat as well.
Actually, let me check that one more time. I don't think we have any other questions, but I just want to make sure I didn't miss any. There it is. Okay, so nope, we didn't miss any. Just want to make sure. So cool, folks. Thanks for tuning in, everyone. I know there's some issues with this stream because i3, man, I can't even talk today.
iPhone 8.
iPhone 49.
Nice.
E3. I know there's a lot of stuff going on there. People are really excited to see what the big companies are announcing. They don't really care about Rudo Resurrection, but hopefully you'll listen to this later. It'll be available on our Twitch stream and also on YouTube. And cool. So hopefully we have some good news next week, because we have to dance on camera, right, when we succeed the campaign. So
dance and a 50-mile run, right?
And
well,
the 50-mile run is predicated on the
the 50,000. I actually think it's 50 for 50. I think it's a 50,000 reward. 50 for 50.
Well, if somebody donates 50,000, we'll all run 50 miles. All of us together.
I'm literally adding this reward as we speak. So.
And we'll film it.
Yep.
And we'll make we'll
make an edited version.
Like a reality
show. Watch us puke while we're running. We'll
maybe they want that. I don't know.
Maybe that's true. Yeah, we'll just show, like, it'll be a vomit montage.
And what we'll do is we'll cut in one edit of us just continuing to fall over and laying on the road crying, and vomiting and dying of heat exhaustion, maybe.
Maybe paramedics coming in.
Yeah, this could be cool.
Yeah, it's kind of like a it's kind of like those I'm gonna blank out on the name of it now, so it doesn't matter. But it's kind of like those reality, like punked type, shows.
Survivor Game Dev.
Yeah, Survivor Game Dev.
Oh well, I can't remember anymore. But yeah, we'll do it.
50K, 50K to 50K. So there you have it. And Jared's he's cutting out. So.
Oh.
All right. Well, I think that's it. Jared, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Matt. Take it easy, all.
All right, folks. We will hopefully have some fantastic news next time we talk to you on the dev chat, which would mean we succeeded our Kickstarter campaign. So get out there. Let everyone know about it. If you can't pledge, share it, beg, whatever you got to do.
Rock the vote.
Yes, rock the vote.
Help us dial up the fun.
Yes,
nice.
we need help dialing up the fun. So, all right, we will see you guys. See you guys later.
Bye.